Okay, now that you have finished setting up your assessment, after you've finished this one, you go back to subject setup. Under allocation, you then have to come to the option for educators. So this is where I'm going to give teachers or subjects to the teachers. So for instance, I'm going to look for this person here. So I'm going to give let me look for, we have teachers here, Mr. Kazanga, for example. So I'm going to give this guy teaches grade 8 as well. No, he only teaches grade 10. And grade 10, let me see. Okay, he teaches grade 11. So we have 7 grade 11s, A, B, C, D, E, F, 6 grade 11s. And out of those 6, he teaches 3 classes. So that's why you see these 3 here, 3 classes. And he does not teach any other subject. So I'll just put that 3 there and then process. After that one is done, I can then also do this for all the teachers. So let's say Mr. Azanga teaches grade 11, English, only 3 classes. Also he teaches grade 12. This is an English guru. He teaches 2 classes for grade 12. So we have 2 classes grade 12 and he teaches all of them. So I'll put this 2 here and then process it. So I will explain to you later what is this. I'll come back to this part later. This 2 that you see here. I will explain this one. So now after this, I can then go to, after I've given the subjects to the teachers, I can then go to this option here under allocation, student. Now here is where I'm going to give or allocate learners to the subject. So I'll choose grade 11, for example. Subject grade 11 is, the level is NSSCO. And what is going on? I think I chose the wrong one. Okay guys, I hope your system doesn't have this kind of problem. So grade 11, and I choose their subject sets there, and this is the level, this is the correct level. And this part, default class group, I can leave this one and manually do it here. So I'm going to leave it deliberately, and then I'm going to tick English. I want to give English to learners. I'm going to first deal with Mr. Kazanga. So Mr. Kazanga, we said he teaches 3 classes. So just toggle this one. And we said he teaches 2 classes. So just move this around and you should be able to see his name popping up here. If he doesn't, just keep moving this one up and I see his name is popped up here. Mr. Kazanga teaches grade 11, 3 classes. And he's not the only one teaching 3 classes at grade 11. There's also Mrs. Levy. So, but this is not a problem. That's very much fine. So English is ticked. So now I can see grade 11 is not a subject that is selective. Everybody takes, English is not a selective subject. Everybody does English. So what I'm going to do is, choose that class. He teaches 3 classes. That's what we said. One of those classes is 11B. So I've selected 11B, and then I'm going to give. I'll tick this box. This is the topmost here. Select everyone. That means everyone is going to receive this subject. And process. Click process. Done. Like that. You're done. And then we said 3 classes. And the next class that he teaches is 11D. So select all the learners. I go 11D, process. That means all the learners are going to be attached to that English for Mr. Kazanga and Mrs. Levy, which is fine. This is something that we also have a problem with, separating this. Okay, but at the moment it's fine. And then he teaches the 3rd class that Mr. Kazanga teaches is 11F. And I'm going to select it. I've selected all the grade 11F. Process. Once you are done with that one, I can then go on to allocate many more other subjects. So, but there is also an option of allocating multiple subjects, more than one subject at once. So I can tick something like this. If these are the subjects that class is doing, for example, 11F takes home economics, agriculture, arts, biology, these subjects that I've ticked. And then I just need to look for the teachers. And this is the teacher for that agriculture. Just want to see. And that's the teacher. And arts, those are the teachers. And biology, that's the teacher. Chemistry, that's the teacher. So those are the 2 teachers. So it doesn't matter, but one of them is giving them the subject. And then this study, that's the teacher. So I have selected this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 subjects are being done by 11F. Then I can select all the learners and process. Now, there are times when you accidentally allocate a subject to a class that does not do the subject, particular subject. So what you're going to do is, for example, I've accidentally allocated computer science. I've allocated computer science, okay, which is being taught by Mr. Kasera, to 11F. You have selected and you have processed. Now, how do you unprocess? How do you undo that? So check this column here. Tick this subject. Tick, select it here. Select on the delete column. Select the subject. Select those learners that were given the subject accidentally. 11F. Select all of them and process. This action removes the subject from the learners. So make sure once you are done, uncheck this box. Okay, so basically that's how it works. Okay, so once this part is done, then you are good to go. Okay, the assessment setup is done, subject setup is done. Then you can now give students marks. So we normally use by subjects under the student assessment. I want to give marks. Then you can do this, and this links us to the previous video that I made on how to enter marks. If you did not watch that one, please go back to that video and watch it. Okay, and then the next thing that I want to clarify is on these numbers here that you see here. So this is the number of classes. So check on top here. I have selected, for example, you are now under allocation, and you will realize that you have, okay, you are selecting Mrs. Amtenya, grade 11, and then this populates, and then you see these things. So these things, the numbers that you see here, maximum class group, this is how many classes do you have for that grade. For example, grade 11, we have 7 classes. That's why you have it here. So let me see. Grade 10, we have, you see 11 here. Grade 10, 11 here. This means if you have 11 classes for grade 10, then you can have it here. Let me see. If you choose grade 8, I see 2 here. What is this? This means this, I have 2 classes for grade 8. Okay, I have 2 classes for grade 8. But you can also flexibly adjust it in such a way that for grade 8 agriculture, for example, these 2 classes that you have, not all the classes, not both classes are doing agriculture. One of the classes is not doing agriculture. Then you can set it with a 1. For example, food preparation, you see 1 here. This means one of the classes does not do food preparation. That's why we have a 1 here. And accounting, only 1 class does accounting. The other one does not do accounting. That's why you see a 1. Now the question is, how do you set these things up? This is how you do it. Under the subject grade, subject setup, subject grade. So when you are adding this, remember this way we're adding a subject to that class. Okay, so I'm just going to edit, for example, mathematics. So you see how this thing was added. So we select the class grade 8 mathematics, we leave this one unchecked. Class group, both classes are doing it. We have 2 classes, so that's why I put 2 here. If math was only being done by one of the classes, not 2, not both of them, only 1, so then I will change this to 1. I will change this to 1 like this. But now since it's being done by 2 classes, both classes, I put 2 here. Okay, that's where this thing is coming from. And this is where we said the position on the report card, where the subject is going to sit on the report card, and then this is the category. Okay, basically that is it. That's how it's done. Okay, so I hope that one is clear, and perhaps there are rare cases where you will find that when you go to student assessment and you are trying to add marks, you want to give marks to the learners, and the only thing you are seeing is question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. So let me just show you. So like right now it's populating, but let's say when you come select the class, if you don't see anything here and all you see is question mark, that simply means your assessment was not done. You need to go and do the assessment for that subject. Mathematics, you go to mathematics grade 8, go and set it up under assessment setup, assessments, and then choose that subject, mathematics, level, ordinary, and then you add this term 1 examination, cycle term 1 type exam, and do this just like we did in the previous video. Then when you go back to student assessment by subject, the moment you're going to get to this part, everything is going to be fine. Ordinary, mathematics, and grade 8A. Soon as you do that, ordinary, and you should be able to have your students populating the screen. And then to add marks, like we said, you go to the plus on the term 1, and then make sure that term 1 is selected as well, and then double click and start adding the marks. Thank you very much, guys. I hope that answers a lot of questions that we've been having. Thank you very much. All the best for the exam.